Georgia, I may be leaving a little early today. I have to go buy a new dress for dinner tonight.
You need a new dress, Monica?
Yeah.
But you have the most beautiful wardrobe of any woman in Port Charles.
Oh, well, thank you very much, but I need something really sensational for tonight, you see. A very special house guest, a very private dinner.
Very special?
Mm-hmm. That may just be an understatement, as a matter of fact, because after I get my dress, I'm going to go get a hairdo to go with it.
Oh, you're really going all out.
Well, for my house guest, it'll be worth it. Believe me.
Who are you inviting to dinner?
Well, Alan, I didn't notice you there eavesdropping.
I wasn't eavesdropping. I mean, if you're inviting somebody to dinner in my house, I'm entitled to know the particulars.
Entitled to know the particulars? Oh, Lord, you're stuffy.
Who are you inviting to dinner?
Well, Alan, why don't you just come by around 8:45 and see for yourself? I think you'll be amazed at the particulars. Hi.
Plug it back. I'm starving.
Medium rare with ketchup and mustard.
You got it. What's this? Milk? What am I, a cat? Beer and chips. Oh, my God.
No beer. We're working here.
Okay. Hey, listen, did anybody see you?
No, I doubt it. I don't think so.
Did you see anybody?
The antique store seemed pretty quiet.
What about the museum?
There were a few visitors, but nothing that looked suspicious. What about you? What have you got going here?
Oh, it's a real treat. Nothing. I have monitored here solidly for 3 hours. If they're digging a tunnel here, it doesn't pass in this area.
Well, what about closer to the antique store?
Yeah, possible. I still haven't zeroed in on the perimeter of that store. I mean, if there's anything there, these instruments are going to pick it up. We know there's no basement.
But they still could be digging. Maybe it's just out of range of all this equipment.
Yeah, we'll know for sure and I'll make a few adjustments. If there's anything there, well, I hope Bob will have something to take back to work. Hate to be proved wrong.
I came as soon as you called, baby. What's wrong?
Thanks, darling. I want you to keep your eye on Laura. She's inside. Don't let her out of your sight. I've got to go talk to Robert.
You'll probably find Robert. He's on the van doing some monitoring.
Terrific. I'll find him. I have an idea, but I need to talk to him first if it's going to work.
About what?
Well, I may have a way to prove that Laura's been programmed by David Gray, but in order to do that, I have to have Robert talk to the museum director. So,
Okay.
But keep an eye on her.
Okay, but wait, Luke. What do you mean programmed?
I'll explain later.
Okay.
We may be onto something. Give us a kiss for luck.
Father? What is going on at the house tonight? Are you and Mother having a guest?
I have no idea. As far as I'm concerned, this is just another one of your mother's family evenings, though I've yet to completely understand what she means by that. Why are you suddenly interested in our eating habits?
Monica.
Oh, did you call me, Alan?
Hardly.
Hardly what?
I'm sorry, Father. I was talking to somebody else.
Dinner is at 8:45, and you know you're always welcome.
I should hope so. It's my house.
Alan, what are you muttering about? I swear, you're not making any sense at all.
You are really incredible. Do you enjoy taunting Alan that much?
Live for it. And tonight could possibly be my crowning achievement.
Oh, really? What are you planning for tonight?
Dinner and, quite possibly, Alan's first massive coronary. Come on with me while I change. I'll fill you in. Still nothing?
Nothing. There's nothing straight down this place except weeds, rock, and probably some rusted beer cans.
What do you pick on when you sweep the adjacent areas?
Oh, fascinating noises. It's a whole audiophonic mystery. There's a sewer on channel 1, and there's a train on channel 2, and there's a nest of rats on channel 3.
Terrific.
But no tunnels. Okay, no tunnels.
Well, at least we tried. Now what?
I've got an idea. I'm going to train this equipment on the museum building itself. If Gray is trying to monitor or bug the electronic alarm system, this lot will pick it up.
Do we have to wait here?
No. I'll set it up to run an automatic. Then we can go into the museum and see what's happening.
The silly idea of Luke's trying to prove that Laura's a spy? Is he going to continue with it?
Yeah. And I was hoping by now you would have gotten used to the idea that it's something that has to be done. Look, first rule of battle. You check out everything and you expect everything.
That's just it. I'm sick of battles. All I care about is making sure that Laura's safe.
She is safe, considering the shape she's in.
I know what shape she's in. She's under some awful spell.
Yes, probably post-hypnotic.
We shouldn't be using her. We should be trying to help her.
Look, love, in the first place, we're not harming her in any way. Secondly, you should think about this. Ever thought that she may be using us?
Robert, she wouldn't do that.
I didn't say she'd do it intentionally. But look, she's under a post-hypnotic suggestion. She can't control herself.
She just does what she's told, but I don't like it. And I hate what's going on. There's nothing I can do about it.
Not at the moment. The time's on our side.
Why do you say that?
Because Gray knows we're watching him. Watching him, digging, pushing, pressing. It's just a matter of time before we figure all this out. All we have to do is keep on questioning. Don't stop. Come on.
Really appreciate your letting me in like this, Mr. Forbes. Do you remember I showed you a medallion not long ago that you said, it's right here, you said was a replica, that it was definitely a ripoff?
Well, look at it. Could have been minted yesterday. But I also told you that I was no numismatist. That's right.
I took it to New York.
And?
Well, it seemed to be sort of a draw.
I don't understand.
Well, there was one expert who felt the same as you do, that it's definitely a replica.
So you spoke to someone else?
I did. A very old gentleman, stoop-shouldered. He had one of those jewelry things hanging from his face. He stared at it so long I thought he'd gone to his reward.
What did he say?
He wanted to buy it. And the way he was talking, I think he was talking some pretty heavy bucks. He wanted to know where I got it, how
Then he thought it was genuine.
No, not think, Mr. Forbes. He knew it was genuine. In fact, he told me that it is definitely an Alexandrian tetradrachma or something like that. It was minted...
Do you recall his name?
Thompson, I think.
Yes, that would have to be Ivan Tiomkin. He's a legend. He wrote the book on late Roman Republican coinage and... Wait just a moment. Now, I'm no expert on coinage, but, let's see. Yes, I can understand why Tiomkin was so excited.
Well, let me in on it, will
Well,
you?
look at them.
Well, yeah, they look exactly alike.
No, that's superficial. A counterfeit $20 bill looks like the real thing, but look at the modeling of the helmet, the line of the chin.
No, I'm looking.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Spencer. There's just no way for me to describe what I mean. If you've lived your life looking, touching, living next to
Are you
great
telling me that you agree with this Thompson?
Tiomkin. No, it's deeper than that. Now, when I first looked at your medallion, what I saw was that it was new, fresh, uncirculated. But now, you telling me about Tiomkin's opinion makes me really look at it, see it for the first time.
All right, now, I think I know where you're going with this, but how do you explain it?
Well, you don't. There's no way. But what we're saying is that you have a brand new coin that's over 2,300 years old.
Oh, now, wait a minute, pal. Let's don't lose our heads. I mean, something is either old, or it's new, or it's somewhere in between, right?
Well, I'd like to think that, but there are
But you
times...
can't. Why? What?
Well, this leaves us only a couple of possibilities. Now, one, I guess, is that somebody found original dies.
Okay. What are the chances of that?
Maybe 1 in a billion.
I don't like those odds. Anything else?
That your coin was minted at the same time as this one, but kept in a sealed box, untouched, kept looking the way it looked that day in 325 B.C., or whenever some human hand took it from the die.
What are the odds of that?
What can I tell you? Good sense says slightly better than the odds that somebody found original dies and started striking these coins again.
Yeah, but here it is. I mean, they're perfect mates. How do you explain it?
I'm no expert, but yes.
But, Mr. Forbes, this is really my last question. How do you explain it?
I said I'm no expert, Mr. Spencer. And more than that, I'm no mind reader. Now, what do you want? A story about some undiscovered treasure? Now, I'm the curator of a very important museum, and I wouldn't think of making up tales like that. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have a meeting with Mrs. Quartermain and the board.
Well, certainly. Thank you very much for your time.
Well, it was a pleasure. By the way, is Mr. Scorpio planning to stop by today?
Yes, he is. He wanted to talk to you about the security for the exhibit.
Well, will you tell him I'll be upstairs whenever he wants to see me?
I will, and thank you again for your time.
Thank you, yes. Oh, one more thing, Mr. Spencer.
What's that?
If we happen to have the odds wrong, if you should come across another brand new coin, 23 centuries old,
Yeah?
Tiamkin was right. The museum would like a chance to bid on it. And it would be very big bucks indeed.
But I still say what you are planning tonight is outrageous. How can you do that?
With sheer delight, that's how. And living back at that house brings out the absolute worst in me, and I love it.
Obviously.
Oh, but don't misunderstand me. I'm not doing this just for Alan's benefit, of course. No, I think having a foreign guest is going to bring a little life into the old homestead.
Especially that foreign guest. And you're sure Alan doesn't know?
Not a clue. Not one clue. Just wait. Wait till he... Oh, Alan, what a coincidence. We were just talking about you.
Oh, really? I'm surprised you could find anything else to talk about besides dinner tonight.
Dinner? Or is Stella going to fix one of your favorites? Stewed crow, perhaps?
I must tell you, I don't care what Stella fixes tonight because I won't be there.
Oh, really? It will be crushed.
What do you mean, we'll be crushed? What do you mean, we'll? You mean you and Mother and Father, right?
Oh, well, I'm sure they'll be crushed, too, yeah.
What do you mean, two? What do you mean, two? Who else
Look,
is...
I've got to go. I'm supposed to be at Delfina's, and oh, my gosh, I'm already 10 minutes late. I'll talk to you tomorrow, okay?
Oh, yes, I wouldn't miss it.
Wait a
Second, why are you going to Delfina's? For what?
Well, Alan, why does anyone go to Delfina's? I have to get a dress for dinner tonight. I was thinking of something a little slinky, perhaps. Sinful.
You're not the slinky type, Monica. Sinful, I'm not so certain about.
Why don't you just stop by around 8:45, Alan, and maybe you'll just see a slinky, perhaps sinful, new me. Bye.
Well?
Don't ask me. I only work here. Oh, Alan,
What?
have a pleasant evening. Oh, darling, I'm so happy that you're back in town.
Oh, Tiffany, darling, how marvelous. It's been so long since we had a girl talk. So why don't you drop whatever you're doing and come over? Unless, of course, it's a man.
I'm coming over, darling, and I'm going to bring sweet little Laura Templeton with me. Poor thing is bored out of her mind. And what's worse, Luke won't even let her wear her favorite dress. So do you think maybe you might have something sensational for her?
What a question. Everything my busy little fingers touch is sensational. So bring her over, sweet, and we'll dazzle her.
Oh, darling, your love. Thank you. We'll be right over. Okay, darling. You just wait. We're going to perk you right up, get your things. Oh, well,
And we'll go. You go on up, and I'll meet you in just 1 second. I want to powder my nose.
Okay, darling, but you hurry. We've got to make sure that Delfina does wonders for your body, darling.
Sure.
Hey, mate. You crop up in the weirdest places.
How did it go with the van?
Well, there's no tunneling going on under the parking lot and nothing around the antique store.
Well, are you sure you had all your equipment tuned up and all
I
that
tried
stuff?
them all negative. Whatever they're into, it's digging and delving isn't part of it.
All right, what about the alarm system here?
We're monitoring that right now.
Yeah, what I've got the beam set on automatic. Now, if Gray is trying to bug this place electronically, now I can pick that up and it'll be registered on a graph in the van.
But I wouldn't get your hopes up because we haven't come up with anything so
Well,
far.
I've come up with something. I think I've come up with a scheme by which we can prove that Laura's been programmed by David Gray. What we do is we come up with a very top secret operation that only we and Forbes know about. Then we let her overhear it, of course.
Little Laura.
Exactly. And we'll see how long it takes Gray to come around, and as soon as he does, we'll know that she's giving him the information.
I really think that you are using my sister, and I think it stinks.
Hey,
and I don't want to be a part of it.
Robert, will you let me take care of this for 1 second?
Sure.
What kind of summer camp do you think we're involved in here, Jackie? This is not a bus that you can get on and get off when it's comfortable for you. Now, I know how you feel about your sister and all that, but your sister is involved, and we have to find out how. You're in the major leagues now, girl, so stop acting like a stupid woman.
Well, I don't like the way you play.
Well, that's a shame, because we're going ahead with it with or without you.
Are you finished?
For now, yes, I am.
Well, then so am I.
Yeah, a bit heavy on it, weren't you?
Oh, Robert, come on. We're a bit heavy on everybody. It's a very heavy situation.
Yeah, but never with one another.
Well, we're all right with each other, aren't we?
I know, pal, but listen, the bottom line of this is we're all on the same side, aren't we? Including her?
All right, well, maybe I was rough on her, but, Robert, I'm not going to let her stop me.
Okay, if you're sure of what you're doing, let's get on with it.
I am. I'm very sure of it.
Now, this thing depends on me. How? Tell me.
All right, you've got to talk to Forbes. And you've got to convince him, because if you don't, none of this is going to work. You can do it.
Okay, look, I'm normally hot for your plans, but this one throws me. I mean, what's the secret information?
A change in operation that only you, I, and Forbes know about. Then we make sure that Laura finds out about it, and we'll see how long it takes for Gray to act on the information.
From loose lips.
That's it.
One question.
Go.
What's the secret information?
Oh, forgot about that. Laura's going to hear that you're very interested in the security here at the museum.
Yeah, which I'm part of, right?
Right. Now, what you do is bring Forbes in here, tell him this room isn't going to work, it's not safe. I don't know, maybe it's the window or it's too close to people.
Okay.
You don't know, you'll think of something. Tell him he's got to move the whole exhibit into another hall.
I think I'm with you. Okay, I'll give it the old world security try.
Oh, Robert, very important. One thing is very important. Make sure that Forbes doesn't tell anybody that the exhibit's been moved until the day of opening.
All right, I'll stress it.
All right, if the pieces fall the way I think they're going to, Gray's going to be in here with a measuring stick, and he's going to be looking in another hall, and we'll know exactly where he got the information.
Our friend, of course.
Foolproof, right?
To clean it simple. It could well work, but there's one more little detail.
I think I'm ahead of you, but go ahead.
How's she going to learn about all this? Television?
Me.
Okay.
Oh, darling. Oh, no, I have a cold, Goldie.
Oh, you do know each other, don't you?
I know simply everyone, dear. Why don't you, sweet, look over at those dresses, and you'll swoon.
Darling. I saw the pictures of the Manhattan Ball in the paper. Oh, that was your creation that Mimi had on, wasn't it, darling?
Creation. I felt like Omar the tent maker. Dear Mimi gains 5 pounds a week, and she's 100 if she's a day.
Who is that cute little boy next to her? Ooh, maybe one of her grandchildren?
That cute little boy is her next husband, dear.
No.
Yes.
No.
But Mimi swears it'll be the perfect marriage. She helps him with his homework. You finding something marvelous, sweet?
They're gorgeous.
Of course. Naturally, they're all mine. Monica, darling.
Hi, Tiffany. How are you?
Laura, well, this is a surprise.
Well, isn't this fun? Just us girls, I mean. Maybe we should get into our jammies and make fudge.
Oh. No, not until you find me something absolutely sensational to wear to dinner tonight.
Ooh, that sounds like a man. Alan?
Oh, really, Tiffany? If it were Alan, I would be wearing a suit of armor and carrying a very pointed spear.
I love your humor.
Do you have something?
Yes, I have, darling. It's in back. Let me just get it and prepare to die. Come, Tiffany.
Oh, yes, excuse me, darling.
Maybe we'll die.
Oh, Del, I just have to tell you more about it. It's wonderful.
That's gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous, and it would look wonderful on you.
Do you think so?
Mm-hmm.
I hope you really mean that, because I think you have the best taste in the world.
Well, thank you, and I really do mean it. And I've also been meaning to tell you something.
What's that?
Well, I wanted to let you know I really, really enjoyed us getting together last week. I hope we can do it again.
Well, what about a hot fudge sundae?
Oh, you just said it. Oh, that sounds marvelous.
I know.
Listen, when we're finished here, let's just sneak away and find the biggest hot fudge sundae in town.
Sounds terrific.
Good.
Oh.
Oh, what?
One little thing. Tiffany, she watches me like a hawk.
Why?
You know, I don't know. I really don't know.
Right, Mr. Forbes, here's another example right here, this very window.
Well, that's North Light, Mr. Scorpio. That's essential whenever we use this hall for art exhibitions.
Well, be that as it may, sir, it's also a natural bottleneck. Now, the Malkuth exhibit generates the kind of crowds that we're expecting. This isn't going to be an impossible area once we get a few people in here. I mean, the congestion will be enormous. Consequently, if something should happen, I can't be held responsible for it.
Mr. Scorpio, I understand you're just doing your job, but don't you think you're anticipating trouble when there's no real reason to expect any?
Frankly, I wanted to avoid mentioning this. I didn't want to worry you unnecessarily, but I can see I now have to take you into my confidence.
Yes?
You see, when I undertake to guarantee the security of an exhibit like this one, my major contribution isn't my inspection of the general area, it's my sources.
Sources?
Yes, paid informers. Keeping in touch, keeping tabs on the underground, a sort of a confidential report on a very wide spectrum of society. That's my major contribution.
Mr. Scorpio, are you saying... I'm sorry, just what are you saying?
I'm in possession of some information, which leads me to believe that an element, namely a criminal one, is very interested in the Malkuth exhibit.
That's shocking. Good Lord.
Yes, agreed, but it's also quite true. Now, I can still guarantee security here, provided you go along with my suggestions.
Well, I'll rely on you entirely.
Good. Then you'll change the exhibit room to another part of the museum?
Definitely. The room across the hall is nearly as large as this one.
Yes, I know. I've inspected it. And from a security standpoint, I find it excellent.
Well, then, that's the room we'll use.
One more thing, Mr. Forbes. This is just between you and I. I'm sure you can see my reasoning here.
Oh, I do indeed, yes.
Good. Then nobody is to know about the change of the venue here until the exhibit opens. That includes other security personnel and the board members.
Well, you have my word. Now, I really must be getting back upstairs to say goodbye to Mrs. Quatermain and the others. And thank you, Mr. Scorpio. Thank you so very much.
All part of the job, sir.
Yeah. Mr. Spencer, I'm sorry we disturbed you.
No problem. Thank you very much, Mr. Forbes.
Oh, good Lord, pal, that was great. That was great.
Convince me, I tell you.
Oh, you haven't lost your touch. Now, all we got to do is get Airhead to overhear this, and I swear to you, the tall man will be down here so fast.
How long do you think it'll take him before he wises up? 2 days?
One. Maybe one. I think it'll take him about as long as it'll take.
General Hospital will continue in a moment.